Mortal, there is a darkness in this festive land, a creature born of winter itself. They call it the Christmas Dweller. Tall, twisted, a mockery of Santa Claus. It will stalk you, it will hunt you, and on the 100th day, it will come. Survive. Prepare yourself, and for the love of creation, try not to break the world this time.
Day one, I spawned in Christmas Land and immediately started doing what any responsible adult does. I punched trees. And what do you know, in the first tree I find a freaking hidden chest inside it, not to mention all the candles over it, but hey, free loot. This whole biome is covered in giant candy canes, so naturally I break one. Don't know what I really expected here, but hey, candy canes collected. I find another one of those candy cane trees to even have a diamond. So technically, day one diamonds, we tape those. I spawn a house in the distance and it turns out to be a gingerbread house, so before going in, I climb a tree to scout out the area because I value my life more than the plot demands. I break in ready to fight for my life, but the house is completely empty. No monsters, just loot, and more diamonds, not to mention emeralds, and, well, kind of everything. So I ransacked the entire place. Right then and there, I decided to make this place my home. Merry Christmas to me. I started renovating the place, slap on a helmet I found, and at one point I swear I saw something moving outside the window. Nope, not dealing with that, but eventually I give in and go to bed. Pretty solid day one in Christmas Land. Day two, I wake up hoping whatever I saw outside last night was just part of my imagination. It wasn't part of my imagination. I move carefully because apparently I'm getting jumped first thing in the morning. No hot chocolate, no stretching, just instant gingerbread violence. Yeah, I surveyed the area a bit and started placing fences. I need a wall, so fences will do for now. I clear the land around the base because I'm still a little bougie about my yard looking clean. If I'm gonna die out here, it's at least gonna look good. Candy cane tools aren't bad though, but they do break faster than my hopes and dreams. I keep going though. I clean up the whole yard, I remove junk blocks, flatten everything out a bit, and then I torch spam the place because there's no point in having a wall if mods can just spawn inside with me. Then I start a mine shaft, mostly because I need stone, but also because being underground feels safer. I craft my first set of gingerbread armor and I get stuck trying to make the boots, because the recipe keeps turning into trap doors for some reason. I'm really confused here, y'all. I spend the rest of the night mining while I hear Gingerbread Man running laps inside the walls above me. Overall, not a bad day. Still grinding these mines since yesterday. Torches are running out fast. Already off to a great start. So I go back up, throw together a gate for the base, and that's when I notice it. One of those candle chest tree things, they're right next to my base. How did I not see this yesterday? I decide to explore the area around my base a bit. And of course, there's even more of those trees. And then, I spotted another house that looks just like mine. So, naturally I check it out. Inside I find diamonds and just a bunch of random junk. But somehow it all feels essential. As the sun sets, I think, do I risk tangling with the gingerbread army again? Nope, not today. Not gonna be on the cover of Gingerbread Weekly. Day 4, it's time to actually get some stuff done today. Planted some trees, went out farming for some candy canes, even grabbed some wood while I was at it. Started getting dark though, so I headed back home and find out my trees still have not grown. Awesome sauce. Day 5, and I'm just picking up where I left off, wandering around, touching things I probably shouldn't be touching. I figured out something about those chest trees though. They've got spawners inside of them. So that's fun, not really all that concerning at all. But I swing by that house I looted earlier and borrow a few lanterns, permanently. I keep exploring the area and yet more candle trees, more loot, more reasons to question whoever designed this place. And when it gets dark, I do like my ancestors and I climb a tree and sleep up there like I'm a paranoid Christmas raccoon. Found another house today, looted it, grabbed what I could, and somehow traced my way back home. Trees still refusing to freaking grow. So, I decided to set up 3 goals for myself. Set up a food farm, prepare for Santa, and survive. I ended up crafting a diamond pickaxe and finally slapped together an entrance to the mine shaft. It's freaking ugly, but it works. And, to be honest, that's the theme of this world. Down in the mines, things get better. I end up getting some iron, snag a few diamonds even, and I wander into a cave full of some strange new ore called tin. Turns out visible ores wasn't even on, so fix that real quick. Kept digging and found some coal, which is great because now I can stop burning down half my base. I'm sure the Lorax will be happy about that one. Day 7, and I head out and immediately find more iron and coal. At this point, the world is basically sponsoring me. I stumble into a new cave that looks like a dramatic waterfall entrance. Really cool, really confusing, so I started setting up a perimeter, because I do not like the idea of being jumped. After that, I smelt everything. Iron, tin, copper, all of it. And yes, I literally stand there and watch it smell like it's a high-budget entertainment. I make myself a tin chestplate, craft a bucket, I get my shields up, and call it a night. Productive? Yeah. Exciting? Not even a little bit. But hey, day 7 is done. Okay, these trees are refusing to cooperate. Seriously, what am I missing here? I cleared out the snow around the area, and I let my Tism take over and throw a snowball at the fence to see if it'll stick. Moved the fence around, thinking maybe that would help, and finally a tree grew. Okay, progress. Got an idea of brewing for that spawner, though. Stayed out too late, and a stray got me. That could have been a lot worse. Thank God his aim was bad. Time to go to bed, let the sun handle him while I recover. Alrighty then, today's mission, prep the spawner and finally finish the fence around it. Had to get a little creative though. I pulled out my inner spawner vibes, dirt and cobble everywhere. It's not glamorous, but it works, viewers. Feel free to judge my decorating skills too if you want. Still grinding away on the spawner, digging down, and of course I get jumped by some gingerbread men. Handled them pretty easily though. Spent the rest of the day squaring away some of the final touches. Not perfect, but close enough. Day 11, and I built a stone grinder to slap some slabs on the roof. Try saying that 5 times fast. I noticed a bunch of spots where mobs could potentially jump around, so I had to fix my fence line a bit. But the grinder did get finished, and everything seems to be working. Mostly. They don't like to spawn when I'm standing on the killing platform. Maybe the torch at the landing zone? Fun observation, they seem to spawn when I stand next to the boss itself. Tried bone milling the ground, got some seeds from the grass, lucky me. I actually didn't think this would work because of Christmas land. Oh, and I even got a Power 1 bow today? Small victories. I spent the day cleaning up around the grinder. I'm prepping for a farm I'm planning to build. I fill in some dirt here and there. Also took one look at my mineshaft entrance, and yet, this thing is fugly. Did I fix it? Of course not. Not from lack of trying, though. Some things are just meant to be eyesores. Day 13. I spent the first part of the morning filling in some dirt, gathering some extras, spending the farm expense a bit. Gotta make sure those gingerbread men don't get any ideas. Then, I find another portal, just chilling under the ice in my fence. Cool. Did not see that one coming. Oh, heck yeah. It's got mending boots and some golden carrots. I decided to fix the portal. Step through, end up in a basalt biome, magma blocks everywhere. Guess now my water won't freeze. Welcome to Cold Land. I got back home, and the game's like, surprise! There's a new spawner. And of course I'm under a cliff. I spot a house, so that's comforting. Wait, a pillager outpost? Wait, there's witches in this house? Wait, there were supposed to be witches in my house? I run like a coward under the ice. Then I end up building a quick platform, spot an igloo, and finally get some cover. Day 14, I try to find my way back home. I climb up high to get my bearings. No luck, but I eventually find home. Thank you, Notch. I get started on the farm. First step, seeds. Lots and lots of seeds. We're gonna eat so much freaking bread. I moved the entrance to my grinder though, since it was kind of in the way of my farm. And I ended up working through the night. Sleep? It's optional. It's for the week. Day 15. I'm still at it on the farm, tilling the fields, planting the first seeds. While I'm tending the fields, the spawner's doing its thing, skeletons are piling up. Genius. I used the bone mill to grow more food and get even more seeds. Farming, baby. Well, the farm's done. I set up a chest for all the farm goodies. Realized I blocked my XP though down in my grinder from reaching me. So I had to fix that a bit. I also swapped out the yard torches for lanterns, made some more diamond tools. The gingerbread men won't let me sleep. Day 16, I'm back in the mines. I make the tunnels a little bit safer, or at least I try to convince myself of that, honestly. I really just don't know how these gingerbread men spawn. Today's mission, iron. I need it for an anvil to fix the power one bow. Along the way, I stumble upon some lapis and a bit of tin. And it's time to retire my pickaxe. Feels right to save it. You know, kind of like a nod to my first one. Then, gold. And before I knew it, I've made it to deep sleep. The mine just keeps giving, and I'm gonna keep taking. Day 17, I'm still deep in the mines, completely surrounded by deep sleep. Iron keeps showing up, and honestly, you can never have too much. So I push a bit deeper until I run out of torches. I spot some redstone and decide to drop straight into a cave. Instinct kicks in, and I'm glad it did because I pillared up just at the right time. There's a gingerbread man just right around the corner. I seal myself in, craft some redstone torches so I'm not mining in total darkness, you know. I lay down some staircases on the way back up, no more jumping for this doctor. But as I reach the top, I hear some low growls outside the mine. It makes me hesitate a bit, and I peek out. I don't see nothing, so I sprint for the house like my life depends on it. Once inside, I dump out all of my smeltables into these furnaces, and finally, I can craft this anvil. Which means one thing, power one bow, baby. Day 18, I built a staircase down by the ice. I'm trying to plan ahead, but decided to take the obsidian from the nether portal back to the mines. I gotta fix the staircase the rest of the way because it's bothering me. Day 19, I'm still in the mines. I keep finding diamonds and redstone, all sorts of goodies. But I do run into some lava finally when I make it to bedrock. I guess I spent the whole day mining towards the bottom. Day 20, after doing some more mining, I finally decided to leave, and I ended up making a little storage room using the candy cane blocks as floors. Because, why not? Gotta have that Christmas vibe, you know? I also tried out the bow. Let's just say I'm not joining the Olympics anytime soon. Day 21, woke up to it snowing. Christmas land. I decided to be brave today and do a little bit of exploring. I climbed to the top of a tree to kind of scout out the area, and I make it back to that witch house on the pillager outpost. I quickly raid the house though, because I noticed the witches do spawn. Lucky me. And did you guys know there was hay in these chimneys? Neat. I do borrow one of the witches' beds though, because I'm not about to try and fight this outpost in the dark. Day 22, I woke up ready to take on this outpost. I spotted a couple of allies there and decided to let them go. And doing so, one of them tried to swipe my damn axe. So I guess that's a thing. I walked up to the pumpkins, feeling a little bit nervous, and right as I start to swing, they show up. I run inside for safety. Luckily for me, I found some potatoes. Right now, I'm trying to actually fight off my Irish blood more than I am the pillagers, because, you know, potatoes. But I tried taking a few shots at the pillagers. And with this painful show of target panic that I have, I ended up just fighting them on the stairs. Haha, I have the high ground, Anakin. I luckily made it out, ran back home, gathered my thoughts, and noticed that the farms were actually ready. So, wrapped up the day, kind of sorting some stuff. Round 2 at the outpost. Today's mission, pumpkins. One ally actually came back, so we became friends. Big mood. I grabbed my pumpkins and even grabbed some hay bales too. You know, gotta be a little bit greedy. But on my way out, I get jumped by two pillagers. I managed to dodge and weave the first one, but the second one, well, let's just say he kind of hit me right near the chimney. Discovered you can't break down carved pumpkins into seeds, so I mean, it's a snow column defense force. Kind of maybe needs a sort of redesign. So I just end up making the 4 that I can manage for right now. And my dumb butt left the door open. And the yard snowman kind of strolled right in like he's paying rent. Ended up working through the night and see the snow cones are doing their thing. Throwing snowballs at the gingerbread man like it's a freaking sport. I decided to make the place look a little bit nicer, add some pathing, stuff like that. So about those candy cane swords, guys, just found out they're basically netherite tier. But I do remember to update my first goal. The farm, aka crops, have been acquired. Day 25. Today's big flex. I finally made some tin armor. Feeling kind of fancy. Also, I moved the trees in my front yard. Better view, fewer surprises. That's pretty much all day 25 was. I spent the day changing up the yard and paths again. Into day 26 by ganging up on some gingerbread men with my 2 snow golems over here. I wanted a better view out my windows, so I cleared out some of the big trees outside the fence line. I decided to start building a mob grinder though on top of my spawner, kind of prepping, just laying down the foundation. But I promise, this will not take 30 plus days like it did in the Farlands video. If you know, you know. Day 28, snow's coming down and I'm still grinding up on this grinder. Midday, it finally clears up, but I don't stop. I just keep working straight through the day and into the night. This thing will get finished. I swear it. The grinder's almost done, or at least so I think. Run out of material, so going down, chopping trees, mine some deep slate. Got lucky and found some more diamonds. Back at the grinder, I'm clearing out the drop zone when I realized, yep, I definitely messed up. I built this thing too far to one side, so I fixed it to the best that I could without having to just destroy and rebuild. Day 30, I just kind of spent it fixing yesterday's disaster. I cleared the snow, finished the roof up, and even placed some water. Honestly, we're so close, I can almost taste the XP. Need just a few more blocks, and since I'm nearby, might as well grab those diamonds too. I almost forgot to slab the roof, and trust me, I do not care what it looks like at this point. As soon as I finish up the grinder, I get dive bombed by phantoms because, I haven't slept in a few days. Now, ain't that a way to freaking celebrate? Two of them phantoms even got stuck under my porch, so I put them out of their misery. I do some organizing, then test out this double XP grinder I've been so hyped about. Yes! It actually works. I mean, of course it works. Yeah! Celebrate me and the snow golem jumping gingerbread man together. And I end up making some shears, getting some leaves, and smack a few more gingerbread men through the fence. Solid day. Day 33. I'm expanding the base, clearing out some dirt, placing more fences, and just lighting up everything. The last thing I need is to build a monster zoo. I take a few cheap shots at some gingerbread man minding his own business, and I decided it's time to rebuild the nether portal. Listen, in Christmas land, the nether is basically just coal, so it counts. Day 34, I finish up that nether portal, and I slap a gate on it so nothing ugly tries to come in the room. I'm immediately jumped by two magma slimes, and I absolutely run for it. While patching the holes around the base, I remember something though. I'm crazy! So I go back swinging like a lunatic to finish the freaking job. After my small victory, I collect some lava, I've got some big plans for the sand trap, and I end the day at the grinder waiting on XP and getting annoyed that my ally is just refusing to pick up these cookies. But that's what it's supposed to do. Day 35, if I'm making an anti-Santa trap, it has to be Christmas themed. So I start collecting some candy canes and squaring out the base of the build. I happened to notice there were some jump points in my fence, so I took the time to address my concerns before it became a war zone here. Then it's back to trap building. I dig the center pit so Santa can't escape, I dig a moat around it, and fence it all up with some candy cane fences. 2 fences, to trap and melt Santa. Day 36, I don't really know what the look is here, but I am building for function. Let's see, I need some glass for the platform, so I dive under the ice to get some sand, and it kinda looks cool down here. The plan is to jump to this ladder onto a glass platform, suspended above lava, fenced in with candy canes so I don't yeet myself off the edge. Day 37, I'm still working on this Santa trap, replacing the dirt with some glass, and I'm even filling in the gaps a bit. My snow golem wanders into my trap, so I kinda gave him a gentle please leave tap. And let's just say he left me his children. Fair trade though. So I start laying down the lava while running back and forth between the nether and the build. Day 38, I free the last snow golem from its defense tower, and then I go on a little Christmas themed scavenger hunt. I go after candy canes, some gingerbread blocks, anything I might need later, I take. Do I need any of this? Absolutely not. Do I want it? Hell yeah. Day 39, I spent the whole night demolishing this gingerbread house. Every block just ends up breaking down into smaller things, so I had to take the time to recombine these back into blocks. Also, my fist breaks these things just as fast as all of my tools. I don't know how to feel about that though. I finally make it back to the Santa trap, and I patch some small spots, added a random path, and let's just call it done for now. But I get home, and I hear Zombie Piglin. So I smack him with my diamond shovel. I needed wood for my next project. I'm making a tree, but not any old tree, I'm making a Christmas tree. I want it to be directly out the view of my bedroom window. One problem, there's a big ass candy cane in the way. Day 41, I'm working my way down the Christmas tree with leaves. I really honestly have no idea how to make this thing, but I'm trying my best here. But eventually, my shears break. So, back to the mine. And I end the day by taking out some of my frustrations out on the gingers. Day 42, it's trees and leaves, baby. No clue how to make this thing look good though, but maybe that's the charm. Night falls, and that's when the pillagers and gingerbread men decide they're gonna try and tag team me. So, I snipe them from the branches like I'm a Christmas tree sniper. Looking at this tree, and to be real, I am doing so much worse than I thought I would be. So I climbed to the top and tried to work my way down using the actual pattern I started off with this time. Then I started filling in the bottom. Progression is progression. Day 44. I think isolation is starting to get to me. I'm seeing gingerbread man off in the distance, but they disappear as soon as I try to take a shot at them. But I keep working on the tree, I'm running out of iron again, and make a quick trip back to the mines. One day I will fix this iron problem, but today is not that day. Day 45, I start the morning by jumping some gingerbread men with Frosty over here, and it's back to the tree. Day 5 of this build, and the deja vu is real. But hey, it's for the Christmas spirit, right? I end up working through the night, just trying to make a dent in this thing. Day 46, I got tired of not having enough iron, so I went to find what will hopefully be enough to last the rest of this project. Everyone likes to make fun of coal, but I swear, if you just follow this stuff, it will almost always lead you to a resource you do want, like iron or diamonds. Up top, I realized I've made a mistake. I've been shearing every leaf off of these trees I grow, so I don't really have any saplings left. And guess what? 5 seconds later, I completely forget about this anyways and just start shearing off all the leaves. I guess at least I have enough wood for now. Day 48, I'm back at the Christmas tree, and it's finally starting to look like a real tree. I throw on some more leaves, then I dip into the nether, want to get some glowstone. I have this vision, a festive one. Turns out, I need some glowstone for this. Day 49, so I just kind of kept gathering. I found a mushroom, even grabbed some quartz, made some stained glass, because I was so ready to make these Christmas lights. Only issue is, you kind of can't see them through any of these leaves, so I had to go back to coal land and try again. Day 50 does not start out that well, because I ended up trapped by some magma slimes. I even had to build a quick sniper bunker. After I escaped, I switched to putting the lights outside the tree, like a normal Christmas tree. I also swapped out my frosted glass for some clear glass so I could actually see this thing out my window. And that's when I realized my data pads died. I went through my footage and I even found out this happened on day 46. It took me 4 days to notice. I tried fixing them, nothing worked, and I moved on with my life. Today, I decided my basement needs a basement. I found a little cave directly underneath the house though. Mined it a little bit, cleared it up, gave it a little bit of light sources, don't need nothing spawning under here. Also, I can make an enchanting room, even though I still couldn't make books without any sugarcane. Day 52, I was back at it, working through the night again, building floors out of gingerbread and collecting some of that copper and coal everyone just loves so much. After finishing it, I did some farming and called it good. Exploring felt right after that, so I wandered off and instantly found a spawner right next to my base. Things are just everywhere. But hey, had a diamond. Then I stumbled onto this huge structure. It kind of looked like a freaking giant tower or something. So I scaled the walls, found spawners literally everywhere. There's skeleton spawners, gingerbread spawners, the whole family tree of pain. But you know me. I tried to make the skeletons fight the gingerbread man just for some fun. Day 54, I kinda, maybe sorta forgot to record for the first part of the day. But I continued my climb. Spawners, loot, and at the top, there was a single chest, which kind of felt extremely suspicious. So I decided to tower up above, and thank Notch I did, because the Grinch spawned. Full boss bar, he's even making some weird angry camel noises when I hit him. Day 55, he dropped something called a steadfast heart. I'm starting to test out this Grinch thing a little bit. Like, can I spawn the Grinch again? Can I spawn more than one of them? I had to know these things. And sadly, during my testing, one of them even breaks out of the enclosure I made. Day 56, I decide it's time to survey this base. It should be safe enough now, right? I find pigs and a cow and a bunch of workstations I probably couldn't have gotten on my own. Just goodies everywhere. Gathering up all these materials is just downright exhausting. Luckily for me though, I find a lead which is just perfect. Now I can bring these animals home, but on the way, I kind of stumble upon this weird glass room. I almost didn't notice it. Figured out what the hearts are used for. Upgrades. Right now, I can make a chest plate and pants too. Oh my god, this upgraded tin armor is so OP. I have a full armor bar, and I'm still missing the helmet and boots. Seriously, this is insane. Day 58, I'm back in my base, and I'm kind of placing these new workstations exactly where I want them. But I do eventually head back to Grinch Towers to grab the rest of the goodies and the other animals. I tried luring the cow though while I'm leading the second pig. It did not go that smoothly. I ended up having to sleep outside. Day 59, just waking up in the wild. I'm determined to get these animals home though. I finally manage it, despite it not being that easy. And I celebrate by taking some time to decorate. I haven't done that in a while. And I end up making some pins for the animals. Day 60. I accidentally tried to milk my donkey today. He was not a fan of it. Back up to Grinch Towers, begin work on the Grinch grinder. I'm not exactly sure what the final setup will look like here. All I know is I want to do this. Day 61. I grabbed some water for a plan I have in mind. I want the flow to go a certain way, except one block kind of refused to cooperate. Crap, I accidentally spawned a Grinch while placing the water. But somehow he kind of helped me see the flow problem. Once fixed, he flowed down exactly where I wanted him to. Though he might have taken a tumble along the way. Day 62, I'm just back over here at the Grinch grinder, making some progress, and we find out today that sunlight sets the Grinch on fire. The kill chamber is ready though. Time to see if lava does the trick, and it looks like it does. Weirdly, the heart survives the lava though. Day 63, I'm up to the top again to set up the water elevator, and then I head back home to grab some blocks. Quick trip to the nether and make a few hoppers. Gotta collect all these hearts. Day 64, I ran back to the Grinch Towers, and I goofed up my water placement unfortunately. So, I started building the outside of the water elevator and tweaked the kill zone a bit, just in case I want to smack the Grinch a little bit. Day 65, I spent the day wrestling with these chests, and the water does not make things any easier. When I finally get close to finishing this elevator, I'm so ready for this to be over with. I didn't quite finish the outside of the elevator yesterday, but I am close. And I even reconfigured the kill chamber a little bit. Time for some testing. And I may have gone slightly crazy with the spawns. The screams. Glorious! Day 67, I went home and made a frame for the Grinch's heart. You know, I gotta have that power move, do a little bit more decorating, and decided to move the nether portal while I was at it. Still trying to figure out this portal design. I end up using netherrack and glass for a fiery kind of vibe, and I discover I can craft a fishing pole, and made some new diamond tools. I built a tiny pond out back and just could not catch anything. I don't understand why this thing isn't working. What am I doing wrong? Villagers have arrived, but at least I got the fishing hole working. All the while, my double grinder's just been cranking out straight like non-stop. Got some really nice golden booties going on. Feeling kind of fancy. You know what? The Christmas tree is kind of looking a little barren here. So I threw up some candy canes and added wool for a little extra color popping and reshape the lamp. And the candy canes do need a little bit of minor adjustments though. But the tree, looking solid. Spent most of the day wandering the base, figuring out my next move, did some minor touch-ups, and went night fishing. Man, this 100th day is creeping closer. Tension's real, guys. Day 72, I made some more paths, and I found an awesome bow and slapped all the enchantments on my main. Back into the yard, I'm feeling artistic, and built giant mushrooms because, why not? Finally made the bad staircase usable. Well, I say usable. I just wanted to make it look pretty. Simple, but it works. Man, my grinder XP skyrocketed. Went from level 4 to 18. Back in the nether, I need lava and magma blocks. Unfortunately, I had a run-in with the fireplace, nearly ending Christmas early, folks. Back to working on the sand trap some more. I'm thinking I could use an upgrade or two. Day 75 is a big day. It's a milestone in these challenges, but for me, today is a mining day. Nothing too crazy, just gathering some resources. Inventory's getting full, so I built a chest underground. Discovered I'd been mining iron at the wrong Y level this entire time. It says it's better at 16. I've been at 14. Whoops. Found an underwater cave behind some iron. Oh, let me pull a Java and pull out the door trick. Back at the trap, struggling with this freaking redstone. Why am I so bad with this stuff? I gave up on the trap door. Love it. And switched to pistons. At least I understand this a bit. So the lava fall trap is operational. And add magma block traps near some of those gates too. Oh, and guess what? Phantoms. Yay, phantoms. More pillagers try me. And give me bad omen. Joke's on you. I'm alone out here. I bone milled some grass and I just kind of hung out near the grinders today. I'm trying to get a little bit of XP. Day 79. I tried fusing some gear together to no avail. Let's go back to the nether. I decided to finally throw up a little bit of a base on the side. I kind of got tired of people just coming through my portal. The grinder's been so efficient lately, I decided to make a trash can. And naturally I struggle with the redstone clock. Day 80, redstone clock madness continues. True boss fight. Circuits. Eventually got it working though. The burning trash can smells like the future. Day 81, I spent the day going AFK by the grinder. I needed to farm some levels. I even got tired of closing gates, so I added some pressure plates and upgraded the bow to power 4. Decided to go out exploring. Heck yeah, I found an igloo. With the basement. Nice! Dude, there's villagers and a cactus inside. Unfortunately, some silverfish too, though. But after dealing with the silverfish, I released the healthy villager first, bribe him upstairs with some emeralds, but of course, bad omen hits, and the village got raided. So, I started to cure the second villager in the basement while I tried to finish up this raid. I went up on the roof to clear out enemies and just kind of scout a path to the way home. Got the first villager home safely, but I had to bribe him just to get him to go through the fence. Halfway back home with the second one, but he wasn't following properly, so I ended up having to sleep outside. This villager refuses to listen. He has tried wandering into caves. He has just gotten himself lost. So, lesson of the day, everybody. Always screenshot your house coordinates. Day 85, we're still lost, and my travel buddy just won't shut up. I had to leave him behind temporarily to find my way back home. Bet! I found the house. Now, where the hell did I leave this guy again? Hey look, I found him. It took a hot minute though. We almost make it home, but he hates his base apparently. Constantly trying to go into the mines or just wandering off. He almost turned me into the Krampus. I can't believe it took this long just to get him inside. I told him to go in the house, but pillagers come from everywhere, so I had to block off some alternative paths. Like, really, who wants to be a leather worker? No thanks. This villager is still a leather worker. I have decided to build a little room just to make them happy. But in hindsight, I should have made one of these guys a wheat farmer. Day 89 is a farming day. I laid down some crops in a weird pattern, and then I realized something. My farm has never been symmetrical. I decided to build a cactus farm over my pond. Y'all remember all those blocks I grabbed whenever I found the igloo? Yeah, we're using them around the pond. Looks nice. Hit the grinder for some last minute XP before the 100th day, you know? And I buy an iron sword, smite 3 and unbreaking 3. I might even replace this diamond sword with it. And you know your boy had to craft some golden apples. I am not going into this fight completely naked. I'm back in the nether again. I'm trying to do something here, you know? I'm gonna get some more magma blocks, work on some traps some more. Even add some paths to connect everything a bit. And like always, the phantoms show up. Understandable, considering I haven't slept in forever. Day 92. I used the morning time to watch these phantoms burn in the sky. Just prepping the area today, though. Wanting to avoid Santa. I don't need him just grabbing me, you know? Because once Santa does grab me, the odds of surviving are basically slim to none. Desperation finally hits. I want a book. Any book. So I decide to build an auto fisher. Problem is, I'm out of iron. Do have a solution though. I can either go all the way in the mines, go find more, or I can smelt every spare ats I've gotten from this villager. Honestly forgot I could even do that. This thing still is producing absolutely nothing. 0 items. Great. So I ditch the machine and just go old school fishing, hoping RNG gods bless me with a book. Spoiler alert, they don't. So I take my frustration out on a stray instead. At least the trash can works. Today, I am bored. So I place down a no block and just kinda like boom, 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 boom to it for a while. Then I head downstairs and mess with the pressure plates like I'm testing alien technology or something. I finally step outside the fence and start digging a moat. Santa shows up and sits Days in, and honestly, my defenses have been slacking. Day 95, I start the day by repairing some of my tools. I dig out the moat a little bit more too, and I slap together a tiny bridge from trapdoors. Do coal in. And buckets in hand, I need lava. And why not? Let's get some netherrack while we're at it too. You know, the essentials for chaos and fire. Surprisingly, it's peaceful. Almost too peaceful, though. Colan hasn't felt this calm in ages. Because, of course, the magma slime shows up. Apparently, it had one last score to settle. Rest in pieces, my friend. So I have an idea for a lava defense. Dug out the moat a bit deeper. Careful, 'cause it's not like I want to roast the base in the process. Of course, I am one row short of netherrack. Fine, I'll just fill the hole in. Let's try lighting up, and yep, did not dig that hole deep enough. I fill in most of the moat. After yesterday's, fiery incident, I'm not about to risk turning this into a one-man inferno against Evil Santa. So I spent some time setting up the lava dispensers. Lighting this guy up is going to be so satisfying. So I took a minute to do this, but it's done. And finally, I end the night staring at the Christmas tree. Day 98, I forgot to hit freaking record again. So most of this day is lost to history. But hey, I did build a gingerbread tower for defense. Day 99, I've spent the day just walking around the base and checking all my gear one last time. Even hung up my first shield to what was basically the first armor set. I've also updated Rule 2. I have done everything I can to prepare for this coal-loving Santa? Yeah, let's go with Santa. It is the final day of this challenge, day 100. I have grabbed all the supplies I need for this fight. And I've built a second floor on the gingerbread tower. And I end up parkouring just to burn off some of the stress while waiting for nightfall. I take one last peek out the window, and yep, Santa, right under my Christmas tree. He spots me, of course, and he even manages to stick his head inside my tower. But I climb to the top. I start taking shots, screams are filling the night. Lava's flowing, chaos, pain, epic showdown, or at least I thought so. And then, before I knew it, it was over. Just like that. One of the shortest fights I've ever had, probably. So that was the 100 days in Christmas Land. We managed to take down Evil Santa a lot easier than we thought we were going to. Huge thanks to everyone who just stuck around for this whole video enjoying the cheese. I seriously appreciate each and every one of you. Merry Christmas, everybody.